Hello, good evening, everybody. I hope I'm audible. Please give me a thumbs up so that we get going. Thank you. All right. Okay, so we are almost at the end of our fourth unit. In the fourth unit, we have looked at different pre-processing techniques that included radiometric dating, sorry, radiometric correction, then geometric correction, and after that, we as well looked into two types of classification methods, which are very importantly always held within the domain of GIS, wherever you are trying to classify any satellite data for whatever purpose, for whatever parameter, which were supervised classification and unsupervised classification. We also learned how both of them merge together to form a hybrid kind of methodology that helps you in classifying these pixels that make up a satellite image. Now, if you have understood how to go about classifying, what are the conceptualizations for this classification, both that is supervised and unsupervised, it is time for us to also assess how accurate this methodology has given us the results in, to what accuracy, to what degree of accuracy we have reached in mimicking the real life environment, or mimicking the field existence, or whatever the data that you otherwise get from field. So, the last part of this unit 4 is accuracy assessment. Believe me, this is something that will remain with you for a long time, no matter what kind of classification you do. Whether you are classifying different lithologies, or whether you are classifying different mineral zones, you are classifying different grades of a contact oriole with respect to that of earth sciences, or if you are trying to classify different types of soils or different types of nutrients, and maybe moisture content and things like that, how well fertilized they are, if that is a kind of job you are doing, or even if your classification technique is as simple as that of land use, land cover, or whatever kind of classification that you are working upon, you have to always back it up with what is a degree of accuracy that you have received after going through this classification, whichever classification method that you use. And accuracy determination is something that is always unavoidable, even if you are doing something with respect to classification for your final year project, for your dissertation, or um, for your PhD work. Make sure that you always back it up with accuracy. The reviewer or your guide has to not tell you from front that yes, you have to go for accuracy, because it is a heart and soul of your classification. Let's get into this classification. We are learning two very important fundamental, and something that you always do. Besides this accuracy assessments as well, there are many more ways in which you can assess the accuracy. uh, However, we are looking at something that is very fundamental, that is always asked for, and that something is which the human mind is able to understand what exactly is happening with all the uncertainties as well. So why even accuracy is important, accuracy assessment is important, it is because we are trying to mimic something that is present in the field, and we are trying to derive it through a classification technique within GIS, using maybe some satellite data, or using maybe some field observations that you have. Now, here it becomes very important for you to compare what you have obtained for a certain region in the field, that is your unbiased field observation, and what you are receiving actually in this remote sensing process, through this remote sensing process, that is classification, which gives you the accuracy of that particular work, how accurately you have done it. Now, keep this in mind, that anytime that you're doing any kind of classification, your aim has to be to arrive to 85% accuracy. If your classification has reached 85% of accuracy, you're in a good position to defend your methodology. Now, so what exactly accuracy assessment does? It makes sure it validates that whatever classification results you have obtained is accurate. It will also identify which region is giving you errors or what is the reason why there is some misclassification that is happening. It will also make sure that the kind of methodology that you are following, the kind of decision you have made in order to go about one particular methodology, it is supported. Your research is supported, your methodology, the kind of technique that you have used, whether supervised or unsupervised or the kind of in between, it will be very well supported by this accuracy. It will also improve your model of classification. That means if your model is performing very well, you can pitch it to somebody else. If you have created an automated classification, you can share it somewhere else. You can pitch it to somebody who would also want to take up that particular same methodology, because it will yield better results for them as well. It's all to do with minimizing the time that you spend in getting most accurate results, so that you are also saving on to everybody else who is wasting time into getting the same accuracy. All right, so what you see here very especially is a confusion matrix. It is a table. I hope you are able to see this. Okay, this is a table. It has x and y axis. You can also go like this, that is x and y axis. You may also go into the fourth quadrant. Right now it is in the first quadrant. Okay, I hope you are understanding what exactly I'm saying. Okay, so these are true labels. That means there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. This is actually present in the field. Okay, this is actually present in the field. So A, B, C, D, E, F, you can think of them as different types of lithologies or mineral zones, or you can think of them very simply as land use, land cover. So A is, let's say, water body, B is, let's say, agricultural land, C is, let's say, built up land, and so on and so forth. Okay, now, similarly, you have the same things here as well on the y-axis. These are predicted labels. Predicted labels means it is something that the methodology has given you. The classification is brought about by the remote sensing and GIS techniques that you have used, the methodology that you have used. So, after classifying within the GIS environment, your satellite image is classified in this manner: A, B, C, D, E, F. So, let's say what is actually water body, you have classified it as water body, then you are going to increase one number over there. So similarly, let's say out of total how many, let's say out of total 15 points or 15 sample points of water bodies, you have accurately classified 13. Out of 15 you have accurately classified 13. One has shown up as B, maybe agriculture. One water body pixel has shown up as water pixel, as agriculture pixel. One has shown up as built up pixel, and two have shown up as vegetation. So these are the errors. Okay, so 13 have been classified very perfectly and 4 have been misclassified. So how many total? It is 17 points. Out of total 17 water points, 13 have been classified properly and 4 have been misclassified. That is what this particular table tells us. So similarly, you have B class. In field, actually it is B. Okay, but the classification result, in the classification result you will see that um, you in the classification result you will see that 3 of them have shown up as A, 6 of them have shown up as C, then 1 has shown up as E. Otherwise actually it is um, so many. So no, the 19. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you have understood this matrix table, confusion matrix table. Okay, so see, let's say we have taken total how many, 17 samples of water body. Okay, total 17 samples of water body, and we have trained the machine and we have told it that this is what is water body. But the machine doesn't learn at one go, isn't it? All the 17 points it might not be able to identify very correctly as water body. So what it does, it learns better. It learns better, wherein 13 it classifies perfectly. Okay, 13 it classifies perfectly under A. this is true value, that is, this is all water bodies, these are all water bodies, but only 13 have shown good accuracy. One pixel of water body has shown up as agriculture, let's say, or B, A class has shown up as B, one has shown up as C. Actually, it is A, but it has shown up as B, and another two pixels have shown up as E. So what is happening? The actual accuracy, if all 17 were to be classified perfectly, then this number would have been 17. All 17 in the field A would have shown up as A. So 100% accuracy. But there are some um, drawbacks. Some of the pixels uh, have been misclassified under different categories. So this is what the confusion matrix tells us. Now you will see a diagonal forming. A related to A, 1, B related to B, 2, okay, C related to C, D related to D, E related to E, F related to F. So it is forming a diagonal where all these which are falling along the diagonal, dividing these confusion matrix into halves, this is showing us the truly or perfectly accurately classified pixels. And the ones that are lying on both the sides of this diagonal cell alignment, these are the misinterpreted ones. Okay, these are the misinterpreted ones. They must have shown A, like for example this two, this one, it must have shown up as A, but they are showing up after classifying as B, C or E. Now just give me a thumbs up if you have understood this, or if you have any specific query, that as well you can ask. The recorded session will be with you, so not a problem, you can go through it yet again. So this is to do with the confusion matrix. Okay, all right, not a problem. We will look at this particular diagram. See, here what has happened, this particular classification is that of soil erosion. So the red patches that you see is very high erosion. Okay, soil erosion, very high erosion. Then high erosion, a little orangish, and then you have yellow ones. This is notable erosion. Then light green is low erosion, and dark green patches are very low erosion. Okay, so this is soil erosion map. Now here you see some dot dots. Can you see these points here? These are field observed data. That means a worker has gone to the field at these points and they have physically noted down what is the soil erosion at a given intensity of rainfall. If intensity of rainfall is so much, let's say around 20 millimeters of rainfall is received within 2 hours, and this is the erosion rate, so they have brought that particular reading with them. Okay, tell me if you understood this until here. So in field, a worker has gone and he has identified what is the actual erosion. Now he is not able to do it for all the region, isn't it? He can do it for some points, maybe a hundreds of points. He's not able to do so many other areas. Maybe they are inaccessible. Maybe they are covered with some land cover like that of thick vegetation or something like that. Maybe it is private property or something like that. They are not able to go there, and that is when the remotely sensed data, a satellite image, comes to their rescue, and they are able to utilize this satellite image to understand the spatial distribution of soil erosion and identify where exactly soil erosion is at its peak and where exactly soil erosion is negligible. So they have found some classification results through whatever methodology. Okay, they have developed a methodology, maybe Rusle or Usle or Musle. There are different types of soil erosion techniques that one uses through remote sensing. You may note it down somewhere. Rusle, Rusle. Okay, so these are soil erosion equations that can be applied through GIS platform. Now, so the results, he has to ultimately find out no how well the classification results are to that of the um, uh, uh, actual field condition. So what he does, he takes this point, he knows in field how much is the soil erosion, and now he also knows through the remote sensing GIS classification methodology. Now he also know mathematically how much is the erosion that he is able to find. So what he will do, he will write it down. Okay, he will write it down. Let's say in field I understood that let's say 3 meter cube of soil was eroded for a given 1 square kilometer, and now in classification it is showing as 4 meter cube. Okay, so there is some deviation, it's always not going to be very very accurate. Now with this he classifies the total erosion into 5 classes: very high, high, notable, low, and very low. And then what he does, he comes back to the classification and he makes the same thing, he makes the same classification as that of this. Okay, and now he tries to compare. Let's say in field he identified in field he has actually identified 3 meter cube, but in the classification that he is getting, 13 only are showing the true value, 4 are showing different values. Okay, 4 are showing different values, which means what, his accuracy is 13 divided by 17 multiplied by 100 in terms of percentage. That is his accuracy. Okay, and that is how this particular confusion matrix table has formed. So if I was to tell you the simple case of land use land cover, let's say class is B, actually in field only 9 are showing correctly B, sorry, in field there are totals 9 plus 6, these are 19 points have been taken from class B. Let's say this is agricultural land, 19 samples are taken from the field, out of which only 9 are showing correct classification, B showing B in the classification technique. 3 are showing as A, actually they are B, actually they are B, but they are showing as A. 6 are actually B but showing as C. 1 is actually B but it is showing as E. Now tell me if you have understood this confusion matrix. Only the name is confusion, but otherwise it is very very simple. It is a way in which you are classifying it in the form of an array, so you are able to see how many are correct, how many are misinterpreted. Okay, all right. So this is about that particular table, and they have identified area above curve, area under curve 0.89. We are not talking about this. These are essentially the machine learning techniques that we will end up using. Normally also it can be done, but however we are not looking into it. We are looking into the accuracy, that is kappa coefficient accuracy. So let's talk about kappa coefficient accuracy. It is a very very fundamental one. Every time whenever you are uh, putting forward your accuracy, you must go for giving kappa coefficient. Now it is essentially an indice, so it varies from 0 to 1. Okay, kappa coefficient always varies from 0 to 1. 0 means absolutely no accuracy, zero accuracy, and 1 means perfect accuracy. That means absolutely nothing has gone wrong, all the samples are showing the perfect classifications and things like that. Kappa coefficient is a statistical measure of classification. That means it is something that you can also go about doing on an Excel sheet or on a paper sheet, and it is the most oldest one as well that goes with everybody and is most easy for humans also to perceive and understand. It is a statistical measurement. That means you are yourself noting down what are the number of points that are showing correct classification, which are the ones that are showing wrong classification, and things like that. So there are two types of accuracy: observed accuracy, which is actual agreement, and expected accuracy, which is a chance agreement. Let's look into this particular um, um, equation. Okay, so kappa coefficient is wherein you are finding observed accuracy, that is actual accuracy, minus this expected accuracy, that means it has gone wrong, divided by 1 minus the expected accuracy. Now what exactly is this? Wait a second, this table must have come here. Okay, anyway, Okay, so let's just look at this particular problem. A classified image was validated using ground truth data. Similarly, you have done land use land cover in the field, you have taken some samples. Now you have done the classification using satellite image, and now you are trying to identify what is the confusion matrix. So you have already prepared the confusion matrix, and the confusion matrix is obtained. Sorry, this table is supposed to be there, and that table was supposed to be here. So this is the table. Okay, and now we have to calculate the kappa coefficient. How do we go about doing this kappa coefficient? We have to find out what is the observed accuracy and what is the expected accuracy. Okay, now, so what is the observed accuracy? Observed accuracy is along this particular diagonal. So if you add all these, either if you add all these rows or you add all these columns together, how much is it coming up to? 13 plus 4, that is, give me a second. If you're sitting with a notebook or something like that, please grab it together. So we solve this together.